Hi, Brett from Reid Cycles, here to show you how to assemble your new ladies vintage bike. Bikes from our stores come fully assembled. However, if you've chosen to have your new bike delivered, you will need to follow these simple steps before you can ride it. Now, luckily for me, I've got Chris here to give me a bit of a hand, so if at any point during this video you have any questions, don't hesitate to give the guys a call at one of our stores. They'd be more than happy to help. First of all, you should get your tools ready. Here's what you will need. A Phillips head screwdriver, the one with the cross shape at the point, 8, 10, 13 and 15 millimeter spanners or a small shifter, scissors and a tyre pump. Although we are using a mechanic stand in this video, you don't need one to complete the job. First, you need to take the bike out of the box and remove some of the packaging. We'll start with the front wheel. To keep everything tidy, place the handlebars in the steerer tube. Make sure the cables run around the front and we'll come back, tighten and align the handlebars later. You may need to loosen the nut on the brake caliper to get the front wheel in. Now, put the front wheel into the fork and check that everything is centered and the forks are facing in the right direction, with the brakes at the front. Check the retention washers are hooking into the little holes in the fork. Tighten the nuts on both sides of the wheel with your 15 millimeter spanner so they are firm but not over tight. To install the front mudguard, you need to take the nut off the back of the brake bolt using the 10 millimeter spanner. Place the tab of the front mudguard over the bolt, then the washer and then the nut. Tighten it back up carefully. Remember that this also holds the brake on, so you need to get it right. The two legs of the mudguard will reach down to the two little bolts at the bottom of the fork. Remove the bolt, place the hole in the leg here over the hole in the fork and put the bolt back in. Repeat this for the other side. Next, we'll insert the seat post into the seat tube. For now, about halfway should be enough. Be careful not to let the seat post drop inside the frame. Tighten the bolt with a 13 millimeter spanner. Again, ensure it's firm but not over tight. Place the saddle clamp onto your seat post. Now, ensure the saddle is level with the ground and the nose points straight down the bike. Tighten both nuts in the saddle clamp evenly. Remember that once your bike is fully assembled, you can come back to adjust the saddle height correctly. If you want to adjust the height of your handlebars, ensure that at least the minimum insertion marks are covered. Check the handlebars are aligned with your front wheel and then tighten the top bolt on the stem with your 13 millimeter spanner. You may need to also tighten the bolt at the front. Make sure the bolt clamping the brake cable is loose. Close the brake caliper with one hand, pull the cable through and ensure the other end of the cable sits securely within the lever. Tighten the clamping bolt again. If the brake caliper is too tight, follow the same process, but instead let the cable slip back a little before tightening the bolt down again. The next step with your brakes is to make sure that they're lining up well with the rims. Pull the lever, look at the pads, the entire pad should meet the metal of the rim. If they're not lined up well, just loosen the back of the brake pad with a 10 millimeter spanner. Hold the pad in place, line it up with the rim and then tighten it with the spanner. And do the same for the other side. The brake caliper also needs to be aligned correctly. If the gap between the pad and the rim is very different on either side, then you should realign the brake. Loosen the 10 millimeter bolt that holds the caliper onto the fork. Move the caliper so the space on both sides is even. Retighten the bolt while holding the caliper. Good brakes are crucial for safe riding. If you're at all unsure, please call us to check. Pedals have a left and a right. The threads are different, so don't force them or you'll cause damage. You can put a little grease or oil on the pedal threads before installing them. Find the little mark that says L or R on the pedal. The right-hand pedal has a standard thread, so it tightens up clockwise like normal. For reference, the chain is on the right-hand side of the bike. The left-hand pedal has a reverse thread, so it tightens up counterclockwise. The rear pannier rack fits over the rear mudguard. There is a bolt at the top and bottom of each side of the rack. Remove the top bolt, place the hole in the pannier rack leg over the hole in the frame and put the bolt back in. Don't fully tighten it yet. Remove the bottom bolt, place the hole in the leg over the hole in the frame and put the bolt back in there as well. Repeat for the other side Now tighten up all 4 bolts. To inflate your tyres, remove the dust cap from the valve. Your vintage bike will have this type of valve, known as a Schrader valve. Attach the pump head using the correct fitting. Inflate to 60 psi or until firm. Check your bell and reflectors are in a good position and you're now ready to go for a ride. Test your brakes are working well and everything is running smoothly. Remember, we're always here to help if you have any questions. Enjoy your new bike.